In late 2025, West Africa faced a financial earthquake. The black market rate for the CFA franc jumped to 850 per euro, nearly 30% above the official rate. Food prices doubled in cities like Ouagadougou, panic spread in lines formed outside banks. Trust in money itself collapsed. Then came a bold declaration from Florida. Donald Trump appeared on television announcing his plan for an Afro-dollar, a new US-backed currency to replace France's colonial CFA system. He promised liberation and strength. The United States, he said, would anchor the currency with gold from Fort Knox, $10 billion in Wall Street credit, and full backing from the Federal Reserve. Days later, Trump's envoy, led by Elon Musk, landed in Ghana. Their mission? Build Afrodigi, a satellite-based financial network to link Africa's economies through Starlink. The message was clear. America was entering Africa's financial arena with the power of money and technology. But in West Africa, suspicion grew. Was this freedom or another form of control? In response, Burkina Faso's president, Ibrahim Traoré, convened an emergency summit. Before ministers and generals, he declared, "Africa will not trade one chain for another. Our currency must be built by Africans for Africans." Mali and Niger joined his call. Others like Côte d'Ivoire and Senegal hesitated, fearing their economies might collapse without U.S. support. Across the continent, protests erupted. Students in Lagos marched with banners reading, "No to CFA, no to Trump dollar." What began as an economic issue became a movement of identity and defiance. Paris and Beijing reacted fast. Macron accused Trump of hijacking Africa's sovereignty. China countered with its own offer, a digital yuan Africa tied to Belt and Road projects. Now three powers, France, the US, and China, competed for Africa's financial soul. At the UN, Trump called the Afro-dollar the future of Africa. Traoré replied from Burkina Faso, "We will not sell our soul to Washington. Africa's money must be born of African sweat, blood, and wisdom." His defiance ignited a wave of pride. Across African cities, economic pain deepened. Prices soared, wages evaporated, and protests turned violent. But through the chaos, Traoré's message spread like fire. Murals of his face appeared beside quotes from Thomas Sankara. Youth across Mali and Niger began chanting, "Sankara lives through Traoré." For millions, he became the symbol of unfinished African freedom. Meanwhile, Washington framed the Afro-dollar as a historic plan to secure influence in Africa. Wall Street saw profits. France panicked over losing control. China advanced its digital currency. Each power fought to dominate Africa's financial future. Then Traoré made his move. He announced the African Currency Initiative, a project driven not by foreign banks but by African economists and citizens. One Africa, one currency became the rallying cry. From Niger to Ghana, from churches to universities, the idea caught fire. Suddenly, Africa was not the battlefield of others. It was leading its own revolution. The Afro-dollar, the CFA, and the digital yuan all faced a new challenger: African unity itself. Traoré's words echoed across the continent. Africa's freedom cannot be bought or gifted. It must be earned by our farmers, our workers, our defenders, and our elders. For the first time in generations, Africa stood on the edge of true independence, not through war, but through control of its own money. The world watched as a young leader from Burkina Faso became the voice of a continent. His message was clear and unyielding. "We did not ask for permission to be free. We stood up and claimed it. Africa will never bow again."